Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. This is Jerry Silverman with Sales Enablement. Oh dear, there seems to be a loud conference happening right next door to me. So hopefully you won't get too much of the background noise. I'm just going to take us through today's agenda. First, I'm going to talk a little bit about Creative Cloud and Adobe Stock and give you some updates on the enablement calendar for the CC 2017 release and what's going to be shipping at Adobe Max. So that should be very exciting. And I'm going to bring you up to date on a global technical enablement series that we are just now making available to a larger audience. We're going to talk a little bit about something that just came available recently for the enterprise, which is Adobe Spark, and talk a little bit about the value there for new and renewing Creative Cloud users. We're also going to talk about some new enterprise capabilities for the IT administrators in your accounts that's going to make their administrative work a lot easier. We're just going to do a little refresher about the Creative Cloud and Document Cloud Enterprise products that are coming to the VIP program next week. And we're just going to give a quick update about the end of serialization for accounts, and then just do a little sneak preview of what's coming at the Worldwide Sales Conference in December in Las Vegas. And then I'm going to hand it over to Lisa Croft, who's going to talk about the Document Cloud, Acrobat, and Adobe Sign, specifically some exciting new updates coming this month for Acrobat DC, and a little release information there, talk about how the Document Cloud is going to be represented at the Adobe Max conference coming up in November 2nd through 4th. And just give a general update around the Document Cloud to talk a little bit about the Microsoft announcement and what impact that will have to Document Cloud, and do a little event recap of Dreamforce, which happened last week here in San Francisco. So without further ado, I'll just go ahead and dive right in. Now, if you are part of the sales, customer success management, or solutions consulting field, then you probably will have received invitations on your calendar for this week and next week. As you can see, we've got a full plate of 7 e-seminars to take you through what's happening in the world of Adobe Stock. That's going to be tomorrow at 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. Pacific, hosted by Zeke Koch and Guillaume Leblaise, and that's for sales and technical. Then on the 12th, we'll have Jim Mohan talk about the Creative Cloud 2017 release, give an overview of what's shipping, what the messaging is going to look like across all the different routes to market. That's at 8:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. Pacific. Then we have Desmond Ang and Meredith Cooper on October 13th, which is Wednesday, talking about the Creative Cloud Enterprise updates for Max 2016, and also diving into the roadmap and some of the announcements around that. Very exciting session that I hope you'll be able to attend. The following week, for technical personnel, we have a number of folks giving us a Creative Cloud Enterprise Security Deep Dive. As you know, security is a primary concern for our technical audiences. So Jonathan Say, Chris Parkerson, and Jeff Mraz are going to give an overview and a deep dive into the security model for Creative Cloud Enterprise. That's on October 18th. On October 19th, we're going to get a dive into Project Felix, which is a new 3D compositing application brought to you by the makers of Photoshop by those product managers and product marketing managers. The following day, we'll do a review of Adobe XD, or Experience Design, what's shipping at Max, what customers will really get excited about in this release, and how the product and product marketing teams are going to start turning the messaging from a kind of a pre-release into a project or a product that our customers really could start switching to from the competing solutions. That's going to be a very critical session on October 20th. Then the following week, you'll get a peek into Project Nimbus, which is going to be discussed at Adobe Max, but won't be shipping in private pre-release. And that's on October 25th. So if you don't have any of these on your calendar and you want to get them on, then you can actually join the Worldwide Digital Media Enterprise Sales Training distribution list by sending an email to the Identity and Access Manager email address. Just follow those instructions there. And if you actually would like to get added to the technical training distribution list, you can do that with the following commands under here. Of course, these slides will be distributed afterwards, so you'll be able to get those specific instructions. But you can sign up, and it's very easy and hands-free. So speaking of ways to sign up to get additional enablement, where I just wanted to announce that we are making a new series. It's actually not a new series, but we're making a series called COLAB, available to a larger global audience. Now, COLAB has been a digital media solutions consulting tradition over the last 4 years that has been a grassroots, run by the solutions consulting organization, e-seminar, webinar, powwow, potluck effort to combine and collaborate in the spirit of knowledge sharing and partnership to learn about best practices, new product releases, and really get down in the weeds with product managers, anyone from BU representatives to product marketing, product management, engineering, support, evangelism, all has an equal stake in presenting and talking through this webinar series. So it's been a huge advantage for the North American solutions consulting audience, and we're now opening it up to a broader audience of folks either from account executives to customer success managers to solutions consultants globally. So there are 4 additional sessions that are coming up through the month of October and into November, and you can see those here. And what we're doing with this session is giving you kind of deeper dives and peeks into some of the technology that we'll be shipping, such as, if you look at the second one down, Adobe Rush, Adobe Team Projects, and DVA Roadmap, which is digital video and audio. And this is giving you a sneak peek into something else that will get coverage at Adobe Max, but that we weren't able to fit into our field enablement calendar. Also, Project Eureka, if you look at it down there, Document Cloud's upcoming review service, there's going to be a sneak peek and looking at the private pre-release for that, as well as a number of other sessions. So to sign up to receive the invitations for this e-seminar series, you can join and subscribe to the COLAB group, which you see right there. You can also sign up through the Identity and Access Manager, which I'll take you through in just one second. But just wanted to say a big thank you to Dave Weinberg, who is part of Rick Borstein's solutions consulting team for digital media, who has been a proprietor and curator of this series and is continuing forward to help make the arrangements for it. So thank you, Dave, on behalf of everyone in the field for helping out here. The IAM portal, or the Identity and Access Management portal, which is on inside Adobe, is where you can sign up for this group and any other distribution list that you'd like to be a part of as well. Just go to this URL, which I'm putting up in the upper right-hand side of the screen, and you can click that and be taken straight through to the portal where you can sign up. So, excellent resource. So just to give you a little bit of information about Adobe Spark, which has now, as of this month, become available for our Creative Cloud Enterprise customers using Enterprise ID or Federated ID. So to take one step back and talk about Creative Cloud in the enterprise, we're all familiar with the award-winning professional desktop applications. But Creative Cloud for Enterprise contains the promise of a true platform for creativity, which is something that Adobe redefined the category for. So using the mobile applications, the Creative Cloud libraries, the connectivity with Adobe Stock and Adobe Typekit, as well as the Creative Sync, which allows truly modern workflows and collaborative environment, and a platform for creativity. The only part that has currently gone missing from the Creative Cloud Enterprise platform is this element over on the right-hand side, Publish. And you'll notice that the mnemonic over there on the right-hand side is the old digital publishing solution mnemonic, which recently was rebranded to be called AEM Mobile and moved over into the Marketing Cloud business unit. So while there are still integrations between the Creative Cloud and the AEM mobile platform, that solution effectively moved out from underneath the umbrella of the Creative Cloud Enterprise solution set. And so taking its place now with its new accessibility to the enterprise and federated ID space is Adobe Spark. So if you take a look at what Spark actually offers and the value proposition, right? Spark is an easy way, whether you're on your desktop with a web browser or using a mobile device and a mobile app, to create beautiful social media graphics, web stories, and animated videos very quickly for a non-professional user. And as we know, in our enterprise accounts, there may be specialized groups of creatives, whether those are several tens or hundreds in size. They scale to thousands across certain enterprises, but there are also tens, if not hundreds of thousands, of desktop users in those enterprises who are not professional creatives. They might be knowledge workers. They might be what we're calling deliberate communicators, somebody who needs to tell a story but might not be a professional designer and really kind of requires some design intelligence, some guidance, either from a mentor or from software to help them make the right decisions to create beautiful, compelling communications. And so that's really where Adobe Spark steps in and provides that platform for creativity that is the promise of Creative Cloud. So when your customers come to you and ask, I need to renew my Creative Cloud Enterprise ETLA, where has the Creative Cloud platform allowed me to expand into my enterprise, and where is the value? You can talk about Adobe Spark, and you can tell them that we now have a platform that allows the creation of beautiful social graphics, web stories, and animated videos that can integrate with their enterprise or federated ID, and that also will integrate with the larger Creative Cloud and Lightroom mobile platform. So while content creators or knowledge workers are going through and using Adobe Spark to create their content, they can leverage all the other collaborative assets and libraries and Lightroom mobile content that they might be using in other applications as part of the Creative Cloud. So this screenshot shows Lightroom mobile content being able to come into an Adobe Spark presentation very directly. So that direct integration forms a bedrock of collaborative capabilities, and really it tells the story of the platform of Creative Cloud for Enterprise much better. So IT administrators can now turn Adobe Spark on or off for product configuration in the enterprise dashboard, so they can either provide or deny access to Adobe Spark just by a checkbox when they're configuring their products and groups in the Adobe Enterprise dashboard. And we have an internal sales FAQ that will tell you the story of where this product is going. But I just wanted to bring up this example that the Adobe Spark team created that goes through some of the customer personas and user examples for who out there in our customer base is using Spark. And fortunately, this example that they brought up has highlighted a few personas that are quite relevant in the enterprise globally. That would be the digital social marketer, the knowledge worker, and quite potentially the thought leader or the aspiring influencer. So if you take a look, and I put the URL in the upper right-hand corner here for you to go to, but these are Spark user examples with these specific customer personas in mind. So as you go through and talk to your customers about their needs around creating content, we can start shifting the conversation with tools like Adobe Spark away from the professional creatives into the actual knowledge workers and deliberate communicators, of which there are many, many more in their enterprise. So the value proposition of Creative Cloud for Enterprise can extend beyond simply and only those professional creatives into the class of employee that might need to just throw together a quick presentation. But they want it to look good. They want some of that intelligence and guidance that only Adobe can provide. So a wonderful value proposition for Adobe Spark that can now be deployed in the enterprise. And speaking of enterprise deployment, because I think the Adobe Spark announcement will please the communicators and the knowledge workers and probably also the creatives, you're going to find in the enterprise some new features as well that are shipping in October and November. So one of the capabilities shipping in the enterprise dashboard is the availability to bulk edit user details. And so this might happen if a customer is changing domains or if they are bulk changing titles or names or any of the other metadata associated with their users. So there's a very easy sample template that can be downloaded, updated, and uploaded. And so this is shipping a little bit later in October around the enterprise products being available in VIP, which we'll talk about in a second. And another very exciting one is bulk identity type editing. So if a customer started using their Creative Cloud Enterprise entitlement, let's say they got their ETLA back in 2013 when Federated ID and Enterprise ID were not supported identity types, and they want to migrate over all of their identities from Adobe ID to Federated ID. It's currently a very manual and painstaking one-by-one process. And so the availability of bulk editing identity types will allow them a much simpler transition between one identity type and another for multiple users or multiple product configurations. So that's also coming in October around the 17th. And then coming in November and December will be the much requested ability to bulk remove users. And we see this in student and university environments, right, where you might entitle a student to use entitlement for a certain amount of time, and then they need to be removed from the enterprise dashboard. So that is shipping in November, December. And speaking of things that are shipping somewhat soon, the new enterprise products that are coming to the VIP program, namely Creative Cloud and Enterprise, Creative Cloud for Enterprise and Document Cloud, are coming soon. And if you haven't attended these sessions over the previous couple of months or seen the recordings, this is just a quick refresher for everybody there. So enterprise products being sold in the VIP program is basically there to give our customers the maximum number of ways to get to the Creative Cloud Enterprise products. You're probably familiar with the CCE and Document Cloud features, and this gives the customer the capability to do transactional purchasing without the need for a 3-year ETLA contract. Now, there does need to be some IT infrastructure in place for this to actually work with the customer. CCE and Document Cloud are sophisticated products, and so that's something to keep in mind when you're talking to customers about it. So on October 17th, which is next Monday, you're going to find that CCE and Acrobat Document Cloud, or Acrobat DC, are going to be available via the VIP program And there will be that user migration workflows from CC Teams to CC Enterprise. So those bulk editing the identity types that I just went through, that's kind of why we have that workflow shipping at the same time. Now, this is going to be available through the worldwide channel, so all of our regions and the channel partners and resellers in those regions, will, except for India and China, will have the ability to sell this. Also, our VIP conversion team will be able to sell it, and also certain direct telesales teams in North America, EMEA, and Japan will be able to sell this. So, just consult your reseller if they are bringing deals across to you. The target customers, again, migration from CS. So in other words, kind of the laggards who have not come back over to Creative Cloud yet, or older versions of Acrobat. Anyone with a perpetual base are targets for this, but they must be looking for enterprise capabilities such as single sign-on, or federated or enterprise ID support, possibly some of the enterprise-grade security, the enterprise expert services and support. Right? They need to be looking for more of an enterprise solution. Any CCT customer who is coming up for renewal with greater than 50 seats each of CCT or Acrobat is also a potential target for this. And then a little bit later in FY17, we're projecting, in Q1, but we'll keep you posted on that. There will be the capability to not only migrate users, but also collaboration data. In other words, libraries, assets, and things like that. And that will be available in the same routes to market and geos. And it's still being determined whether or not Adobe.com will be a route to market for that. Same basic set of target customers, and again, we're targeting Q1 of FY17. Keep your eyes and ears peeled for more news on that. Now, of course, there are some caveats, right? Enterprise products in the VIP program are not going to include an option for managed services. There is no ability to true up after the fact. When you purchase via the VIP program, you purchase a specified number of licenses and entitlements, and there's no over-deployment allowed. So that's something that our customers will need to know. There's also no availability of serial keys for licensees in the VIP program. And VIP licensees are also unable to request that their services and storage be disabled. Now, they have granular capabilities to turn off individual services, but their core services like storage and sync and assets and certain other core services are not, you can't turn them off. So that's something that distinguishes the VIP program from the ETLA program. Now, for the 1.5 release starting next week, Adobe Stock for Enterprise and Adobe Sign will be excluded from those VIP offers, but they're being considered for future releases. And purchase authorizations, I like this line down at the end. Purchase authorizations will not be generated by the Enterprise dashboard. Those purchase authorizations have to happen via the VIP purchasing program. So good details to have. We're coming up on the end here. Now, just a quick update for the end of serialization. We don't have our communications ready to go for this briefing that we're currently on right now, but we are assembling those right now. But suffice it to say that in Q1 of 2017, everything is still a go for taking serial numbers out of the picture for new and renewing ETLAs for those customers who do not meet one of the exceptions. And so you're probably familiar with what many of those exceptions are going to be, such as EDU labs or broadcast video or U.S. government or other governments. So there are a number of exceptions. And one of the things that we're preparing for you is what those exception processes are going to look like, how to apply for them, what the customer experience will be like, and when specifically all of this is going into effect. So we will have this information for you as soon as we possibly can, and we'll be briefing you on that when we have it. So that's just a quick update. Most of you have probably already registered for the Worldwide Sales Conference for 2017. The theme this year is Customer Success, Own It! Exclamation point. So you've probably already seen some of the graphics surrounding this on the registration site, but they're pretty cool looking, and some of the assets are already starting to be made available. From the sales enablement perspective, what we in the digital media business unit are working very hard and diligently to provide for you before and ahead of Worldwide Sales Conference is a unified case of digital media use cases that go across the Document Cloud and the Creative Cloud that you can use in all of your opportunities. We've gotten a lot of feedback from our Sales Advisory Council and from our strategic business development folks on kind of the viability of the use cases that we originally developed, and so those are getting ready to go out along with our value prompters that we've developed for those use cases, which are going to help you sell and help you tell the story for your customers of the true value behind the Creative Cloud, Enterprise, and Document Cloud products. And so what we're doing at Sales Kickoff is taking these materials together, the value prompters and the use cases, and kind of mixing them together with all the different sales motions that you're in with your customers right now, but that are being encouraged by the BU leadership and by Matt Thompson's organization, right? To grow and renew, or to migrate to to sell all the different products in your bag. And mixing those together with ROI studies and ROI statements and customer success stories and simple implementation guidance and best practices and organizational alignment. And we're going to take all of those different components that help to make sales successful, mix them together in some recipes for success that at the Worldwide Sales Conference we are going to bring you the formulas for and give you the tools that you need to be successful. And so once you've learned everything you need to know about those use cases and the messaging, the value proposition, the ROI, the success stories, the implementation guidance, everything you have together for those recipes, on the final day of Sales Kickoff, we're going to have a very exciting experiential learning challenge called Sales Jam. We're going to take all those recipes, put them together, and compete with your fellow account executives and CSMs to put together the best customer-facing presentation that you can win big prizes with and that you can enter a running with for the honor, the glory, and most importantly, some really amazing prizes. So we're very excited here to bring that to you. It's going to be probably the most interactive, fun, and competitive activity that we've had for the digital media business unit at Adobe in some time. So I'm very excited. I know everybody else is. And so we're very much looking forward to it. So get yourselves ready to learn through all the materials that we're going to provide. And with that, I am going to go ahead and pass it over to my good friend Lisa Croft of the Document Cloud Business Unit to take you through what's new in the Document Cloud and Acrobat. So Lisa, are you there?